Okay, so some people have been having issues or having problems with their game with FPS, and plus the game keep crashing. This video is just going to show you guys how to, let's say, fix your game with your frames per second and also repair to avoid crashes. So there's several fixes that people have been posting up, like, as you can see on my screen, large address wear. There's also the config in the documents. We're going to do all of that, and then we're also going to be doing, like, increasing your cores, your RAM, and your threads. So that means you get everything that you need to run the game to avoid FPS problems and crashes. Like it says in my description, if you have any crashing issues in the future, if you do this fix, well then it's just saying your hardware or your computer that you have cannot cope the things that happen in ARMA, like explosions, view distance, and etc. So I'm just going to go through the step-by-step tutorial, and that means you guys can do this to see if your game improves, pretty much. So first thing you want to do is of course go to My Documents, go to the ARMA free folder, then you just get the CFG file. So now I already got it selected on Notepad, so you want to open it with Notepad, alright? Once you've done that, you're looking for GPU, max frames per second, or ahead, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, these two values, you probably, if you haven't done this before, it'll be like 1,000 for max frames ahead, and you probably get detected frames ahead would be free. So you want to set the frames ahead to 1, and then you want to set your detected frames ahead to 0. It might, like you just saw, it just sets it to 1. It doesn't matter, just set it to 0 and you have no problem. So that fix is already done. That's the first one. Next you want to do is large address wear, pretty much. So whatever, run it. I'm going to find the executable. As you see, I already got it on ARMA free. So you find out where your ARMA free is and whatever. So you get your exe, whatever. Here it is. Tick, you want to use more than 2 gig because this game is its limits is set to 2 gig. If you guys have ARMA FreeSync, you can see why, or you can see the limit, and it is 2 gig. So you just want to tick the box, click save. I recommend doing to all 3 EXEs just to avoid any issues. Alright, so now once that's done, no worries, you can exit out of it. Now, a program I use is ARMA FreeSync. If you can, if you use Steam, vanilla and all whatever, if you want to play vanilla without mods, because I play with mods, I recommend getting ARMA FreeSync because it's very simple to use to manage your mods and also to manage your game. And plus, if you're in a community or whatever, you can easily connect to your community's server. And if they got their server to run mods and stuff, you can connect to their server. So like my server right here, Soka, my community, you can connect to that and get the mods from our server directly without, you downloading one by one the mods that you need from ARMAholic or wherever the hell you get them from. Anyway, so back onto the topic. So now you want to go to launcher options here if you have ARMA FreeSync, and you just go down to performance. So as you can see, you got max memory. So as we said, about 2 gig. You can see what I mean. The limit is 2 gig for ARMA 2, which that's pretty stupid for people like myself. I got 16 gigs of RAM, and I think I want to push this game to the limits to make sure it doesn't avoid crashes and errors, if you want me to call it that way. But anyway, so you find whatever Intel processor or AMD processor you have. You got to find out how many cores you have. So I got 4, and external threads I have 8, but I selected 7 since 7 is the limit, and plus I got 1 just for reserve for my computer as a whole. So that's just understandable. And then you want to tick no splash screen and default world empty. Now for RAM, since the limit is not there for what I want to use, the limit for ARMA free that everyone has been using who do push the game to its limits is 8 gig. I use 8 gig, so what I do is I just write this code in for max memory, which that's 8192, which that is your RAM. So basically what that is, my game will run 8 gigs of RAM when I play the game. And with this fix, I have never had a crash ever since I've done this, and my game has been running with better frames per second every time I've been playing the game. So I'm happy that I did this and looked it up. I recommend to all those who do have good, decent computers, I suggest you guys do this. If you're doing it through Steam Launcher and all that stuff, what I'll say is, get the code. So like, you got these ones here, just copy them. I'll put them in the description anyway, and then you just put them into the launcher options on Steam ARMA free, and then pretty much you'll just load up the game with your advanced performance settings. Pretty much. Alright, that's the fixes that well, all of them that can fix up your FPS and your game crashing issues. Thanks for watching. If you have any more issues, like I said, it just depends on your computer. If you've got a decent computer like me and other people, like I know some of you guys will as well, you know, you'll have no dramas. I have no dramas, but it just all depends on what hardware you have and how well your computer runs, pretty much. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll leave you guys to it. Hope this helps you out. No worries.